JJ was bad today.
He wasn't good.
The receivers were bad today.
No.
I mean, they, like, in tandem, they were both bad because when JJ would make a good throw, Andrew Anthony,
you seem to drop the ball.
You dropped it.
Yeah, right in your hands.
And then 41, I can't remember his name, but the Gash, in a clutch moment, in a gotta have it moment,
walking into the end zone. JJ,
I mean, that's a toss. Yeah. JJ tossed the ball to you. You drop it.
Yeah, and then the very next play, Loveland is open towards the end zone, and JJ opened.
And then JJ missed it.
That's a touch pass.
I mean,
that it was not like a tight window. And it's just so frustrating, especially being this far into the season, guys. And look, mind you, and I hate the fact I have to say these things for some of you, but I'm going to do it anyway. We do understand that this team is 11-0.
Correct.
They are the third-ranked team.
We will get to that. We will get to that.
They are the third-ranked team in the country. We are well aware of that. But fact of the matter is, this was an incredibly ugly performance right before your biggest game of the year. Mm-hmm. Okay, in a very hostile environment. So if some of you are going to live in La La Land, like, man, I feel good about next week. I don't think today was not an aberration. I think today, Blake Corum's injury definitely affected the team. But it's concerning. It really is. And now you're worried about health. Mike Morrison, he was suited up, but he didn't play today. Mm-hmm. I watched him a couple times on the sideline. He looked a little gingerly. I don't know, the extent of the injury, but, I don't know if he's going to play next week or not. But, that's something to watch out for. So, I mean,
that's just not this. Like, the unfortunate part is for Michigan. Essentially, they've been relatively healthy as a team. Yeah. They've been healthy all year. Yeah. So to have these injuries happen, literally 2 weeks before the biggest game of the season is difficult. But it just, I just, like, with the passing game, it just is always difficult. Like, none of the throwing catches seemed easy. Right there was the big play after the timeout. They had it basically that looked like the Penn State play from last year. Yeah. When Eric All, they basically ran like a little mesh, some crossers. Eric All comes out of the mess, wide open. Cade hits him and he's and Eric ran it up, for a touchdown. But it was a huge play today. And then they tried to go back to it when JJ sailed the pass. That it looked to me like the same exact play. And the corner kind of bumped the tight end a little bit, but everything just looked difficult. And today obviously Blake Corum gets banged up. He's out in the second half. Donovan Edwards was already same. I didn't see him at all today, so he's banged up. So it's worrisome going into next week, the biggest game of the season. Defense. I thought the defense played great. I mean, they basically stood on their heads the entire game. First half you give up 3 points. That's all they gave up. And then second half you gave up 14. But I mean, one of those drives was did Michigan go for it? I think on a fourth down or something, didn't get it. But essentially, Illinois had 60 yards to score. So it was basically you got the ball at midfield and they scored a touchdown. So. The defense played really well. Obviously, you'd always love to have an impact guy like Mike Morris back, but if this means that he can be back next week, great. But, Illinois, I thought they did a good job of their play calling offensively in really limiting Michigan's pass rush because they were so run heavy. I mean, if the quarterback had 20 pass attempts, I'd be shocked by that. But it was so rare that they ever just dropped back and threw the ball. It was some kind of misdirection or play action. So they really did a good job of not letting, Oki and Mozzie Smith and Graham really just kind of pin their ears back and go get them. But it was overall, I think. Listen, you got out of it. That's all that matters is you got out of it. But just a lot of things to be concerned about.